What's up guys? In this video I'm going to give you my review of the book The Warrior Diet, which talked about intermittent fasting before anybody even knew what intermittent fasting was. So if you want to see that, don't go anywhere. Coming up. Okay, so anyway, The Warrior Diet is a book written by Ori Hofmekler, who is an Israeli, I guess, health expert is the best way to put it. He was in the Israeli version of the Navy SEALs called Shayetet, and the impetus for writing this book was that he noticed that him and his comrades trained better when they were fasted, right? So it kind of encouraged him to do all this research on fasting, and this is in like 2002, okay? This is before intermittent fasting was like this big thing, way before the snake diet, way before like even keto was like, you know, keto back then was called Atkins, and like people said it was super unhealthy and made fun of you if you did it. So anyway, I read this book. I was in a bookstore with my mom, and she's like, I'll buy you a book, whatever you want. We bought The Warrior Diet, and I started doing it. I'll tell you why I wanted to buy it. It's because I read on the cover, there were like quotes on the back from people who had done it, and one of the quotes was from a woman, and it was like, "Thank you so much, Ori. I can't believe I can eat whatever I want and not lose weight at the same time, or eat whatever I want and not gain weight." So I read that, I was like, okay, I'll buy it, why not? Let's see what it's all about. Read a couple pages, seemed good, so took it home, and I must have read that book at least 15 times, okay? Now, why is it such a good book? Number one, it's very motivating for fasting, okay? Now in the book, he doesn't talk about prolonged fasts. Like, it's essentially just OMAD, and the reason it's so good is because the way that he explains why it's a good diet is because he tells like historical anecdotes, mainly about the Roman army, the ancient Roman army, which was known for being like lean and extremely effective, that what they would do is they would march every day. And I don't know how historically accurate this is, I'm not a historian, so like whatever, like maybe it's not accurate, but that's not even really the point, even though I think it's accurate. Basically, he said what they would do is they would march for like 40 kilometers every day, and at night they would set up camp and they would all get together and they would eat. Now during the day they would just kind of like snack on maybe some fruits, maybe some vegetables, or like he said that they had these like little biscuit things like crackers or like, I don't know, compressed wheat or oats or something like that. But basically the idea is that you undereat during the day and then you overeat at night. And what this would do is, number one, it would help control your weight. Number two, it would help, you would have energy throughout the day because you wouldn't be getting hit with constant insulin spikes like you would on the frequent feeding system, which is where you eat 5 or 6 meals a day. And number three, it would allow you to take advantage of the insulin spikes that you have to, number one, get better sleep, because you'll be able to, you eat at night and you'll get tired after eating so much and you can sleep better. And number two, you'll be able to build more muscle because the massive spike in insulin is going to make you much more anabolic than if you had those just constant small spikes of insulin. Now, in my experience, like this was before the snake diet, this was before all this stuff, but the book made a very big impression on me, and ever since I read it, like a light bulb kind of went off in my head, because I noticed that I got tired after eating a big meal, but I didn't really know why. I didn't know all the science behind it, and it just made sense to me to eat one meal a day. Now, like I said, this is before, I knew anything about prolonged fasts or that those were even good for you. But still, even on days where, I'm not fasting, I still pretty much only eat one meal a day. And while I try to not eat anything during the day, occasionally I will have a piece of fruit to like tide me over if I'm extremely hungry, or if I'm feeling deprived and tired or something like that. Just because the snake diet guy or anybody really says like only eat one meal a day, don't eat anything else during the day. Yes, those are guidelines that are meant to be followed, but again, like, you're not a robot, you're not a machine. If occasionally you feel like maybe having a little bit of a snack sometimes throughout the day, that's also okay. I think that the reason that most people who are into fasting will be kind of so hardcore with it is because most of that information is directed towards people who are not in good shape to begin with. They don't They don't have that. I'll get that for you 1 second. They don't have that level of discipline anyway. And if you start telling them, oh yeah, you can cheat here, you can cheat there, before you know it, they're slamming like, you know, a 12-pack of donuts and like, oh, well, he said it was okay if I have a snack sometimes. And a snack to them is not what a snack would be to me or to another like normal, healthy person. No offense. Cool. So yeah, The Warrior Diet, it's an awesome book. Highly recommend that you pick it up and give it a read. It's his best book by far. He's written some other books, but in my experience, this was like his seminal piece. Definitely give it a read. It's very motivating, really like puts everything in perspective when it comes to fasting and why you should fast and why it's good for you and all that stuff. Cool. So if you guys have any questions about the Warrior Diet, feel free to ask me in a comment. I've read it like literally 15 times. If you like this video, click like. If you want to see more videos like this or like whatever I decide to make in the future, subscribe. And also go check out my other channel. It is about internet marketing, like making money online. I do software reviews and just essentially teach you how to do things like generate leads, get clients, write cold emails and stuff like that. So if that's interesting to you, definitely go check that out as well. Peace.